Hello, my beautiful collective. Elsie here to give you a reading, an all signs reading. And, yeah, it could be as far as the week ahead. But, yeah, you'll notice it if it's your reading. I am here to read for you the energies as I throw the cards. Yeah, if I need to call out signs, I will, or as it pertains to the story, but I'm going to need to count on you to have your intuitive hat on. If you've been watching tarot for a while or you are a reader, you know how it goes, right? And you also have your own knowing, right? So your interpretation might not be the same as mine, and that's cool too. All right, so here we go. We're starting out with the Five of Cups. We've got, the Four of Cups. We have someone staring straight at the new opportunity. Collective, who is this? This could be someone who is in their water energy. Yeah, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Ooh, bringing in the big guns. Okay, so somebody's got an emperor waiting for them possibly, or someone has been waiting to take control of a situation. Whether you're feminine or masculine, you could be the emperor. We are not reading meat suits here, we're reading energy. So if you are the person who it's all on you, if you are the ruler of the empire in the upper echelons of a large corporation, or you own the corporation, or you are the person who everybody reports to, yeah, who your team reports to, you could qualify as the emperor. The emperor is an Aries energy, but doesn't have to be. Everybody can qualify as the emperor, but it's all on you. You're the bread, the butter, everything. You bring everything. Yeah, the housing. You make sure that you make the best decisions for all and not just for you. All right. So you could be an Aries. You don't have to be, but what I think is going on here is that someone has finally got out of their head. Well, this is new, collective. Somebody in my readings has been stuck for a while. You might want to go back. But I feel as though somebody has made a decision to go. Could be the King of Pentacles. Doesn't have to be, but we do have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here. And either someone is coming towards that energy, or is just leaving the thought of, okay, yeah, I'm done with the overthinking here. I feel like whatever this is in this cup, I feel like somebody is going to look for the fourth cup. Yeah. With three cups down here, I feel like somebody could have been put in a third party. Maybe you were, but I think that it has to do with someone that you know, or the person you clicked here for. I think they were put in a third party. I think that at one point in time, maybe you did offer your cup and this person turned it away. I don't think that they wanted to look at it. I feel like it was the Ace of Cups, the cup of love, the everything. I really do feel like whoever I'm resonating with, I really feel like you had the depth of love for this person and you were waiting. You were so sure they were going to take the cup because they were looking right at it. But they didn't take it. And that made you up in your head. I feel like you feel, could be the emperor. Either you had to be the emperor and go it alone with everything on you, or it's about an emperor. There's been no communication. Oh dear. Okay. So I feel as though there's loneliness, no communication. Look at all of that. Oh, the Queen of Cups is here. And feeling regret about things that went on and not really sure what to do in the dark by yourself, trying to find your light. I think you do find your light. Yeah. You could be Virgo, don't have to be. But I feel as though you felt in lack. You felt like there was nothing more you could do, collective. There's nothing more you could say. I feel like it was a disconnect between you and someone else. It could have been an emperor, doesn't have to be. Could have been a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I feel like those are lessons. I think think you learned some lessons here in the overthink. Yeah. I feel as though that you had yourself in some sort of self-imposed prison where you felt like you couldn't leave. It's like you had an obligation, or your thoughts made you feel as though you had an obligation. But honestly, I feel scattered energy. I feel like that when you try and make a decision, it's almost as if your brain puts it on the back burner so you don't go into overload. Like I feel it's almost like someone whose brain moves really, really quick, makes quick decisions usually. And this is sort of the energy of, no, I can't make this decision right now. I got to put it away. Yeah. If you are a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, someone could be coming toward you with lots of lessons learned. Taking the lessons and coming toward you. Okay. We've got the King of Swords in reverse. Charlie always says, off with their heads. It's kind of what the King in reverse is about. The King of, and I mean, I'm not saying, maybe he was off with their heads, right? Maybe, maybe that's the way it is. I feel like the King is being illogical, was being illogical. Yeah. I feel like the King was trying to make logic of the cup that you offered, collective. And I feel as though immediately went into overdrive in the brain and began to be illogical, started to think head over heart, but in all of that got really stuck in this 8 of Swords energy, not making good decisions. I feel as though that the King was dealing with something that you don't know about, something that could be with someone who is Capricorn, Virgo. I feel like that's the person that okay, they separated. So there's the 6, right? The 6 between them. I feel like either the Queen or the King or both left the relationship. Yeah, there was harsh words, only lessons. This is a karmic connection. This person looked to the King or the Queen, looked like that the other one was the soulmate, but they weren't. They felt like a soulmate, but they weren't. There we go. 10 of Cups is in reverse. The family is in shambles. There's no more love left here. Yeah. And I feel, unfortunately, that children are involved. So I feel like this 10 of Cups tells me it's the disintegration of the family. Like there's, the parents no longer are in love. So it feels like it's all about money and splitting of assets. And while we were all caught up in the material part of it, the love ran out. Might have been working opposite shifts. Probably overworking. Make no mistake about it. People who are self-made, those people have a work problem. They have a work issue. They just won't stop working. And that can kill a marriage. Yeah. You can make everything fall in half. I feel as though somebody, collective, maybe you, were overthinking whether or not you should stay. And I think that in the overthink that you thought yourself right back into the next cycle. Yeah, I feel like you kept getting out of the cycle with the Queen and getting back in the cycle, getting out of the cycle, getting back in the cycle. Yeah. And we have 4 and 6, which is 10. So the cycle comes to an end and then it begins again. Oh, let's pour some drinks. Let's have some friends over, right? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Well, unfortunately, what wasn't fine is the family was in disintegration. That's what it was. I feel like the Sun shows up here to soften the blow for the King or the Queen, whoever it is for you. I feel like the Sun tells me that offer is offered here because the energy of it's going to be okay. Yes, it did. It did go south. Yep, understood. But you need to get out of the cycle. Because if you don't get out of the cycle, you end up in the 4 of Swords. By yourself, not talking to anyone. 4 and 2 is 6. We have the 6 up here. You keep leaving and coming back and leaving and coming back. And I don't think it's physically. I think it's in your mind. I think you're like, okay, that's it. If she does this or he does this, that's it. But then you push it a little bit further and a little bit further. And really, ultimately, you're teaching someone how to treat you. It was a toxic connection. Yep. This King and Queen, to everyone else, looked like the perfect match. Everything was lovely, but understand what's between them is the Ten of Cups in reverse and the Six of Swords. I'm out of here because this family is dying. All there is partying and drinking here. We get back into the cycle. Let's invite some friends over. Let's do, whatever. Yeah. But really, the Queen is ill. So the Queen is, I feel, we've got the Four of Swords next to the Queen for a reason. We could be dealing with someone who is physically ill, spiritually ill, mentally ill. I'm not diagnosing anybody. I'm just saying what the cards say. And the cards tell me there's illness here. Someone had to heal because there's illness here. And it's attached to the Queen. The Queen is the person who kept pulling the King back into the cycle. And understand that the King kept going. Right? So it's not on the Queen. It's not on the King. It's on both of them. She kept pulling him back into the cycle and he kept saying, okay, hopping back in. Maybe it'll work this time. But the truth is that we've got Three Swords here. Heartbreak ensues, right? Because we have, the King of Swords in the reverse here. And understand that this is all stemming from the fact that someone turned away another cup. You end up doubling back into a relationship or a marriage that just didn't work. And this person ended up getting immediate karma. Yeah. And I feel as though the universe sends the sun to lessen the blow, but it doesn't make it any easier. It sure doesn't, because it was toxic. Yeah. The thing is, the light and the dark cannot occupy the same space at the same time. So when it was dark, it was friggin' dark. It was toxic, devil, attachment energy. And when it was light, it was like the sun. It was amazing. Could make great decisions. Finances were flowing. Everything was going great. The liquor was flowing. Parties were ensuing. But when it was bad and dark, it was dark, dark. And there was so much that the Queen and the King could never have anticipated, could never have seen, because it was all hiding in the moon energy. That all the partying was going into the moon energy. It was like toxic. It almost feels like somebody was abusing alcohol. So maybe they're a binge drinker, only binging on weekends. But I feel like there was no communication here, that the communication was terrible in this connection with the King and the Queen, because we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse, which tells me that whenever clarity was requested, that, double-edged sword cut everybody. Yeah, that I feel like there was an energetic block that was created for communication, because look at all the swords over here, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 of Swords. Someone was lying. So I feel as though there's no clarity here. I feel as though the relationship itself becomes ill. And there's lots of slamming of doors. I feel like the King of Swords is here in the reverse, being illogical. There was lots of character assassination, that kind of energy. Wow. It's okay. So I feel as though the Emperor has grown up in this chaos. That's why he allowed it for so long. This Emperor, I feel, has grown up in this kind of situation where people were making a lot of money and ignoring the kids. And I feel like that's what it feels like. And so I don't think the Emperor understood right away what was going on, because the toxicity felt balance. It felt like balance. But nobody told this Emperor that what was yet to come was in the moon energy. You can't see it. You can sometimes feel it, but if you're not listening to self, if you're not connected to the universe, you're not going to hear or see anything. I feel like the Emperor is going to get some balance, but not before this toxicity is on the way. Yeah, I feel like eventually you get to the 9 of Cups and the new start. But I feel like the Emperor puts himself through all of this because this is a cycle of life that the Emperor recognizes, and it felt normal. For those of you who have not been grown up in a life where chaos ensued every day, where you didn't feel grounded, where parents didn't protect you, maybe this doesn't relate to you. But for those of you who grew up in the chaos and cut the chains, The ones of you who cut the chains before they choked you out. That's ninja. That's inner ninja, isn't it? I knew the rules before I broke them. I loosed the chains before they choked me out. That's what it is. This emperor, this person, whoever you are, if you are an Aries, fine. And if you're not, you could be any other sign. But if this is you, the reason you had to become an emperor, you wanted to become an emperor in this life, is because you were breaking generational curses, I feel. I feel as though you come from a long line of toxicity, people using money instead of love, people using sex instead of intimacy, and they are two separate things. You know, I feel like there is a lot of darkness in the way that the emperor might think, and isn't clear on some things, because it all felt normal. When the emperor was being raised, it all felt normal. Nonetheless, I feel like what is coming for the emperor is complete happiness, wish fulfillment. I think that what the emperor really, the wish fulfillment for the emperor is to have balance, because he's never had that. Yeah. It's kind of sad and kind of beautiful, because the emperor did ante up, did step up and said, no, that's it. We're not doing this anymore. Tell me what's in the moon energy, please. What did the emperor not see coming? That it would trigger him as the wounded warrior, because he did grow up in toxicity. Yep, that's what's hiding. He's never told anybody that the way he grew up was completely toxic. Could be he, could be she. Take it as it resonates. And he couldn't leave. He had no control over the situation, right? As a child, you have no control over that situation. You just learn it as a way of life. And once you know better, you do better. Yeah, once you have the realization of the toxicity that is hiding in that moon energy, not until you confront it can you ever get rid of it. So I feel like the emperor, before he was the emperor, was a king. Maybe the king in reverse, maybe the king of pentacles. And I feel like when this information comes to light, when the emperor realizes that he needs to get out of a lifetime cycle of chaos, of allowing the darkness and the light all the time, you know, back and forth, toxicity. Oh, it's lovely today. Toxicity. Oh, it's lovely today. It's like he was living in two separate worlds almost. Tell me about the emperor and this balance here, justice. The emperor is going to get justice in this whole situation because he chooses it. But he's losing hope. It's been hard. Yeah, it's been hard, feeling disconnected, spending a lot of time alone thinking, trying to look at things from a different perspective, knowing full well that when he comes to an agreement with himself, it's going to hurt. He's got to make sacrifices in order to move forward. If he ever wants this, he's got to make the sacrifices in order to get the stability and the balance back. He's got to take action. That's who the King of Wands is. He takes action. He's got to have a no regrets attitude. Yeah, I feel as though the king is going to do that, or does do that, because he becomes the emperor. And with control of the empire, he makes the best decisions for all. And the beautiful part of it, the decision he makes for the empire is this: whatever is best for everyone to have their wish fulfillment. Yeah. So, dear king, or dear emperor, whoever you are, I feel like you finally realize the toxicity that you were raised in, and that's why you continued in toxicity. That's why you saw a toxic person as your mate. Yeah, but you were just following the patterns of your ancestors, and I think now you have decided to be in control of all of it, the entire damn thing. Because you deserve this. Yep, and you deserve this. You deserve reciprocity and a new start. You deserve to either be so connected to spirit and be able to tell people, I have a knowing. Because I think you're ignoring the psychic self. Yeah, I feel like you are. Yeah, the cycle comes to an end. There's the Hanged Man, right? We're almost there. Someone's going to take action with a no regrets attitude, and that's when this 9 is going to pop out, and there is going to be a new start here. Ooh, that was a good one. All right, y'all. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for coming here, clicking here. If you are interested in a private reading, please go below and look for the yellow dot. Please click that link. It'll take you to Wizio, where you can safely book with me. Okay? Even if you ask me to email you in the comments, I will never do that for you. Please go to Wizio if you want a reading from me. But I will never approach you for a reading, ever. Okay, I'm going to go for now. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.